Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Danjo number LP-2878 in an SL finish. This is a latch guard, and the client who ordered this latch guard specifically had a scenario where he had a very small amount of room between the edge of the door and the rosette of the lock, and a very small amount of room that the latch guard would be permitted to hang over onto the face of the frame because of a returned aluminum siding sort of condition over the frame. So this latch guard ended up dimensionally being ideal for the client. And keep in mind, not keep in mind, but take note, this weighs 0.98 pound. I'm very impressed with the weight of this item. It's a 1 pound piece of steel. Let's go over the dimensional products, and the weight is a result of the 5/16 of an inch thick steel that's there. There's a link below this video to a document called Template, so let's look at that simultaneously as we go over these dimensions. 8 7/8 is the overall height, indeed. Overall width, 1.5 inches. Now let's flip that around and let's study it. This would be the door, the lock side, about 7/8. And then about 5/8 of hanging over. So if this dimension, let's say to the edge of the door, was 7/8, and then let's say you had an 1/8 of an inch margin, gap between the edge of the door and the frame, this is going to hang over about 1/2 inch. And that could very likely be ideal for your application. Obviously you can cheat it a little bit, scooch it back a little bit, things of that nature. Center to center on these screws, they don't give, but let's do that just for the sake of doing it. Looks like it's roughly about 8 inch. Okay. You've got 5/16 of steel here. You've got 1/8 of an inch over here. This is going to be available in SL for silver. That's a silver powder coated finish. DU for a dark bronze powder coated finish. And then finally PC for prime coat. If you're going to paint it, or you just want the gray prime coat, you'll be able to have that as well. Through bolted, going to come with a couple of 1/4-20 flathead machine bolts. Going to come with a couple of countersunk washers. Those are going to go through your door, obviously. It would be important to take notice of the dimension on the template that calls out the .438, the 7/16 of an inch. Here to the edge of the plate. In your mind's eye, imagine this is the door and you're on the inside and the door swings out. And from your perspective, well, it would be a right-hand reverse is the way that it works. Or you're pushing, the hinges are on the left and you're pushing the door out. Although you have to imagine it from my perspective because the video is showing it reversed. When that bolt runs through the door, you're going to have the bolt head sitting there. So you're going to want to be aware of how far over is the projection of the stop in relationship to that 7/16 of an inch from the center line to here, or 1.16 inches from here. So keep in mind, will the head of the bolt make contact with the face of the stop? You'll want to take your tape measure and lay that out to make sure that you're not going to have a conflict, or if you do, that you can mitigate it. Maybe, maybe you can. Maybe what you can do is get fancy, get yourself a Forstner bit, and drill a Forstner bit hole so that you can flush or recess this off to the face of the door. That might be really nice. Or you might be able to modify the face of the stop as well, some sort of situation in that regard. There's also a link below this video to a document called Product Catalog. Now that's going to give you an overall summary review of all things latch protector from Danjo. And if you know the name Danjo at all, you probably know them for latch protectors or perhaps their door reinforcing plates. The way to determine the best latch protector for your installation, assuming that you have an installation that's atypical, you don't have a typical hollow metal door outswing single lock set. You know, you've got something that you've got to have dimensions and think and lay it out and consider how it might work and look at different options. That catalog is very helpful in that regard. because this client in particular described his scenario. I was able to locate something for consideration to suggest to the client. They could pull that up and work that problem out in their mind and come up with an answer that, yes, that'll work for me. So the catalog's very helpful in that regard. Finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Donjo products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. If you have any questions on the Donjo, this is their part number LP78 in an SL finish. Pardon me, LP2878 in an SL finish, or any other Donjo product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.